Shalom and good day all, this is Healing29 back again for another DC review, and in this DC review I'll be covering Action Comics issue 160 or 1060 and also issue 1079 or 1079 of Detective Comics. I'll now get things organized for the first one that I'll be covering. I just want to point out that I will not be covering the backstory in Detective Comics, but I will be covering the backup stories in Action Comics. So starting off with first things first in regards to Action Comics, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Or well, with the first story that we see here? Sure enough it does, to which I give a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the first story, to which I'll give the rating for the art as well as the story, and also giving the additional details that we get in the story. So as the story begins, we have Superman seeking out the aid of Constantine, and whilst this is happening, we have Osul-Ra at Earth Al Ghul, which is connected to the Superman versus Batman Superman versus the Authority Universe story. And we get to see what's happening here. We get to see a little bit more of what's happening with one of the Super Twins. Whilst this is occurring, we get to see what's happening on Earth Zero Metropolis, or in Metropolis. We get a really lovely scene here in regards to Kara Zor-El, or Kara-El, comforting Osul-Ra, Osul-Ra, other one's Ophir, and I thought that was really good in the story. I definitely enjoyed that. And last but not least, we moved a little bit towards the end, and I won't jump into the last page in regards to the story, but first things first, what did I give the art in this story? A 7 out of 10. The locations that we saw were Earth, Metropolis, Earth Zero, Earth Al Ghul, and of course, one other place we had the cast of characters of Superman, the twins, Kenan Kong, Kara, Kon, Constantine, and Etrigan, which we also saw on the scene. Plus, there's an additional character that was introduced in a one-shot, but I forget their name. They're sort of like the Black Superman of Hell. It's the only other way to put it. So he plays a part in that, and no doubt we'll see Clark Kent end up meeting with that character, and it will be interesting to see how that story goes. For the overall story rating, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the second story. So as we move into the second story, we have Dreamer making an appearance along with Amanda Waller, and I must admit, this is the worst, ugliest effing looking Amanda Waller that I have ever seen in comics. I've seen better than this in comics. So putting it straight out there, this ain't my favorite art. Alright, there are some scenes that are fine, other scenes it's just freaking terrible. Of course, we end up seeing things in relation to Dreamer and Afterthought, and some of the things that Amanda Waller wants to use her for. Until, of course, we get this new bad guy, whoever the hell he is. The location in the story, unknown. Oh, for the art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Though I'm thinking of maybe dropping that now, having another look at Amanda Waller. I've seen better with her. Cast of characters, we had Dreamer, Afterthought, and Waller. I have no idea who the additional characters were. It would have been nice to see them mentioned by name at least. And for the overall story rating, I'm afraid to say this, but this actually falls into Fool's Gold territory, to which it gets a 4.5 out of 10. Yeah. Nice try, whoever worked on this story, because it was bad. It was bad. Alright, moving into last but not least, we have the one having to do with our new candle, and we have Zod. We get to see what's happening with Lord Zod and also some of the other people that are actually on New Candle. And I must admit, I'm not too sure if anyone's noticed, but it looks like some of these characters on New Candle or New Krypton of such, some of them remind me, just in their appearance, of a mix between like what Cyborg is and human. So I'm wondering if there's like any crazy, nasty, terrible experiments that are happening on the people that are there, and not all of them Kryptonian. And last but not least, the preparation to prepare for the kneel before Zod, and what Lord Zod intends to do about it. So, starting off with the art, I gave a 7 out of 10. I actually quite enjoyed the art. The location, not really indicated, even though we are on New Candle. We don't know whereabouts that is in the galaxy in this. It would have been nice to sort of like know where it's taking place. Is this taking place also on another Earth instead of Earth Zero? No idea. Of course, the characters consisting of Zod and Lord Zod. The overall story rating I give it is a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into Detective Comics. Oh, and just for that last one, there was also a bit of a comic reference to the Batman Superman versus the Authority. So as we now begin to move on to Detective Comics issue 1079, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? Not really much, to which I give the cover a 6.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end. I must point out again that I will not be covering the backstory in this. So as the story begins, we get to see what's happening with Batman and also the Organs. Someone kill the Organs off. I'm getting sick of them. We get to see what's happening with the character of Azrael, and I believe that's Vandal Savage that's in here too. Though we don't see him being addressed by name. It should have been addressed by name. Of course, we get to see Mr. Freeze, and I don't know if that's Batgirl or not. It looks it. Or Cassandra Cain Batgirl. And of course, what's happening there. And last but not least, Talia coming to make an entrance. So, for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. Considering how far we are story-wise, were we given any comic book references? No, I'm afraid to say, Ravi, because you're not putting these comic book references in, you are going to start to lose more points. Next is the area of time. Seeing it's not there, loss of points. Next is the location, which takes place in Gotham. And last but not least, the cast of characters consisting of Batman, Azrael, Catwoman, Mr. Freeze, Guardian, Solomon Grundy, Talia, and the Cheshires, to which there was a bit of a Cheshire reunion. For the overall story rating, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.